today we have with us Raj Narayan, who's a media veteran and an executive coach and counselor who has been working on mental health for a good many years. He will be discussing the impact of mental health on employees during the lockdown. Hi Raj, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sony.
So, working from home is expected to be the new normal now. But there are a lot of challenges employees are facing and organizations. So could you please highlight some of these challenges and why so many people are who are not used to working at home are facing such challenges?
Let me give you some examples, Sony. Thanks, first of all, for having me on this show. Uh, See, the way it works is that uh, the usual routine is we get up in the morning, we get ready, we have our routines, we get ready, we go to work, and at the workplace we undertake certain tasks, do activities, finish that, and then come back home, and then we have another set of tasks. So now what is happening is that because your location is static, all of that is happening at one location. By which I mean, you get up in the morning, you do your household chores, then you start work. In between, you probably get up to cook food. Then if you have family with you, you get up to take care of children, you take care of aged parents. All of this happens during the course of the day. And evening, you really don't end the day at all, the work day, that is. So you end up just continuing from one to the other, back to the first one, like that it continues. As a result, there is no break. So your roles are sort of getting little hazy out here. So you're performing multiple roles sitting in one place, and as a result, your mind finds it very difficult to isolate one from the other. That is the first challenge. The second challenge is that when you're at work, imagine you had a bad day at work with your boss. You come back home and you can actually speak about it to somebody at home. Now, flip it around. You had a bad day at home with the family, some family member. You can go to work, and in the coffee break, you can speak about that to somebody else. Now, here, neither of these are available. So you are essentially lonely in the midst of everyone at home. And if you happen to be staying alone, then it's an even bigger challenge. So these are the two issues which I have found over the past 3 months, and I have been handling with many people finding it extremely tough to switch off from one and switch on to the other. So it just dovetails into the other, and as a result, it's only the sleep which helps them get out of this challenge.
So how do you handle such distractions at work, especially working parents? And as you rightly said, you're cooking and you're doing multiple things. How do you handle such distractions?
So very simple. You need to think of your workspace as a workspace. So I remember speaking to a friend of mine who said that, look, you need to get up and get ready for your work, and then go and sit at your workspace wearing something which is different from your home clothes. That is the starting point. So where your mind starts differentiating, okay, I am in a different role now, at least. So in between, for example, you need to get up and cook, or you need to do some activity. Again, it's a good idea to sort of change into your home clothes, do that stuff, come back again. The idea here is to tell your mind that, you know what, I am performing two roles in one location. So the basic step here is follow certain rules, have a workspace which is unique, uh, and ensure that that space is only used for work. For example, if this is my workspace, I would, or I should, refrain from watching videos or movies sitting here. I should shift away from this space, find another space, and then use that space for some other activity. Or imagine a scenario, I'm actually doing this call with you and I'm actually in the kitchen cooking. How does that sound? I mean, I'm dovetailing these two roles. It doesn't work. So my mind actually generalizes the entire thing and says, oh, okay, what, this is the same thing, same activity. It's
Yeah.
the extension of the same activity. As a result, surprisingly, people initially found it excellent to work from home. The initial days, March 25th is when we started the lockdown. For the first week, everyone was damn thrilled. Oh, they had Netflix and Amazon Prime and everything at their disposal. They said, oh, fantastic. 15 days into it, they started realizing that they were actually ending the day much more tired and feeling low than they did when they were actually going to work.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
even a city like Bangalore, which talks about traffic chaos, coming back home, you actually battle traffic. Even people in Bangalore started saying, you know what, I think I better go back to work. That was better. So
I
this is
wanted
the
to
chaos.
ask you, like,
Yes.
how can people deal with loneliness? Distractions, at least,
Hmm.
there is a way, you can be more disciplined and you can switch clothes or, do it in a very discreet way. But when it comes to loneliness, people who are used to the water cooler gossip and, other things, the kind of office life that they lead, how do they deal with such?
So here's the thing. What we are doing now, you're sitting in one part of the country and I'm sitting in the other part. We are still talking, right? So there is technology available. So I think we could put technology to good use here, and encourage more of video chats, even on WhatsApp. So now what happens today is that although we have the technology with us, we are somehow governed by the past rules. So we still send messages where, I mean, it's a free call, right? When you're calling through the internet, a video call is a free call. You're not paying anything for that. So what stops you from sort of uh, calling up somebody who's working for you, for example, or who's working with you, or who is a close friend or a colleague or somebody, get on the video call and have that conversation. It's apart from the touch factor, at least the visual and auditory, which basically means the sight as well as the voice, you're getting both. It's just the touch which is missing. So these two are there. Of course, there are other things also missing, because when you're standing close to somebody, you actually feel that proximity much more. Right from the perfume they are wearing to the sweat they are spreading around. I don't know. It can be anything, but then yeah, that's there. At least these two things or three things come close to you. So that's an easy way of doing this. I mean, one of the things I encourage my people who actually consult me during these tough times, as a counselor, what I tell them is go and do video calls. If you have a family staying, get everyone on the call. So play games online with other people. So these are things which you can do once in a while to sort of get rid of that monotony and that loneliness also. See, being alone is fine. The moment I start feeling lonely, I feel okay, there's nothing else. So you remember the recent episode of that actor committing suicide. Basically, suddenly the man felt alone. It's nothing about all the stuff that came in the papers. In my mind, he was just feeling alone. Suddenly he was alone and he was feeling lonely. I don't have anyone to reach out to. Now that is where I think people have to be very careful, and they need to reach out. And companies also, I think it would be a great idea if all enterprises actually had uh, morning meetings or town halls, as they call it. I don't know, maybe once a week, once in 10 days, whatever, town halls, and encourage that connect, and not just make it a sort of a troubleshooting exercise or a blame game exercise. So I think from the company's side, I think this is the best that every manager, every leader can do to sort of take this loneliness away. Yeah.
Fantastic. But do you think work from home can be a long-term option? It is here for some more months, we know, as long as the COVID-19 outbreak and all this, the hype is there. But Satya Nadella in a recent interview has said, if people, start working from home and they continue the trend, then most of the people will end up having mental illness. So
He's
your view
yeah,
on
yeah, he's right in a way, provided the companies do their bit. That's exactly what I said now. So can I work from home if I'm a shop floor mechanic working for Toyota Motors? I can't, right? I need to be right there. Whereas in the IT industry or in the media that we are in, we can work from home, but then we need to make trips outside. Everything cannot happen here. So from Satya Nadella's point of view, that one aspect that people will face a lot of mental issues, that can be handled, because I mean it's very simple. You need to keep your work timings. You can't sort of work forever. You need to take breaks. You need to do whatever you did during the time when you were going to work in a physical sense. So if you were taking a bio break, go there. If you are taking a coffee break, do that here. I mean, basically replicate that behavior within the four walls of your house. That would work, but then that also means that you need to be more disciplined. You can't sit at one place and hope that things will go away. They never go away. Things just get worse and worse because it is about me, how I'm making these things up. If I say I'm alone, I feel, and I start feeling lonely at that time, then that I'm making this thought up. It's not a reality. All I need to do to not to feel alone is understand that I just step out of the door, there's somebody out there. On my phone, there are hundreds of people on my call list. So reaching out is important here. Having said that, I really don't know how this work from home is going to pan out. Maybe it could be a scenario which leads to less number of visits to workplace than what it is today. So for example, instead of a 5-day week, maybe you go to work on 3 days. The remaining 2 days you sit at home. So essentially, it also ensures that every other industry, barring real estate, actually benefits. Real estate is what will lose out, but then that's for another story for another time.
So can you list out a few activities which you have already done as you were talking, but can you specifically list out a routine, for CXOs and other individuals on how they can cope with both work from home as well as, their personal, the work-home balance. What was that? Work-life balance.
So, okay. So let me tell you my own experience. Okay. And then we'll try to develop it as we go forward. Personally, my experience is that lockdown or no lockdown, I refuse to give up some of the bits that I'm very particular about. I have a 6 kilometer hike in the morning, which I do pretty much without fail. Uh, Gyms are closed, so I stopped going there. Recently, I procured myself a bike, so I go for my 6 kilometer hike, come back, I bike for about 25-30 kilometers, fresh air, empty traffic, empty roads, no problems. I come back refreshed, then have my breakfast or whatever. At around 9, 9:30 is when I sit down to work. Without fail, and like I mentioned earlier, I usually am dressed for work. It's not as if I just walk in and wearing my shorts and come and sit down. I'm dressed for work. So till 12:30, maybe I work, and then I contribute in the kitchen. Maybe around by 1:30 I'm done. Then come back and again occupy the same chair with the same dress or whatever it is. Have my coffee breaks in between. So 11 o'clock I do have a cup of tea. At 4:30 I have a cup of coffee, and by 6:30 I'm usually done. After that, I shut off my phone, or rather my laptop. My phone is on. In case there is something which is to be attended to, I come in. Else, I just keep that aside. And the most important part here, which I want to reiterate as a wellness thing, is if you are shutting off one screen, try not to replace it with another, because you need to reduce screen time somewhat. That's a big challenge that pretty much everyone is facing, and many of the people who come calling have complained of eye pain and headaches. And this is coming because once I finish with my laptop, which is what I'm on, I mean, I pick up this, right? And then I go and start watching a movie. So essentially, my screen time is actually increasing at the end of the day. Even that driving time I get, 2 hours or whatever it is, that also I'm not getting now. So it's just adding up. So the thing is, find something for yourself that you can do and use that instead of switching on another screen. That's all I would say. Your screen is your workspace. Stick with that. Entertainment can be once a week, twice a week. I mean, we were not watching movies every day of the week, right? When we were going to work, definitely not. So why change things? I'm sure Netflix and Amazon Prime, they have to sell, but then let them. Why do I have to be the one spoiling my eyes?
So work from home happens to be, I mean, the employee should have a lot of self-discipline. That's what,
Yes. Yes.
we got to understand. But oftentimes companies are also, the bosses are also insecure as in what's happening, on the other side, because they are not able to see their employees on a day-to-day basis. In that case, how do organizations monitor, or whether they have some protocol to do that to ensure that the productivity is also intact and the employees also happy?
Yeah, so I think the starting point is to have that town hall or a 10-15 minute meeting that I spoke about, where tasks are discussed, plans are defined very clearly, specific people are given specific responsibilities. And today, for example, does a boss, I mean, as a boss, do I have a choice? I can only assume that people are doing what they are supposed to be doing. And there's no way that I can go and check what they are doing. I mean, it's extremely difficult or well nigh impossible. So if I stretch out or if I list out specific tasks and specific activities that need to be done, and hand it over, and maybe have one call, maybe two calls a day, I don't know. I mean, phone calls are easy today. Like we are using Zoom, we have other software available. So and then there's a lot of work happening on this side, where most of the big companies are coming up with ways to make the workplace uh, simpler and easier. So right from Google to Microsoft, everyone is working on that. So my point is that I think it is the easiest way a manager can manage this is have maybe one or two calls a day, one in the morning, one in the evening, or maybe one in the afternoon. I mean, that depends on what work they are doing. So have at least two calls a day. Video calls are easy, and pretty much every company is encouraging you to use one of these video conference software. So I don't think it should be a huge problem. I think it's more in the mind, because if I start feeling that okay, this person is going to shirk work, I mean, it's very difficult. And even in the workplace, that doesn't happen, right? I mean, you're given tasks to handle, and once the task is over, you're done. So the idea is to sort of collaborate. The collaboration thing is what is important. So, for example, in an IT industry, let us say there is a deployment happening, and the deployment doesn't happen during the daytime; it happens late into the evening. So, I mean, does it really matter to me whether the person has logged in at 10 o'clock or not? Because I know that the person is going to be logged in till 12 a.m. So I also need to be kind, because like me, everyone else is also going through their own challenges. So I think it's just a question of being sensitive and understanding and trustful, and organized, more organized. I think the impact of being more organized would be really huge in these times. So that's what I feel.
Thank you, Raj. That was a very insightful conversation. We will bring to you many more such unique ways of dealing with the global pandemic. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Sony. Thank you for having me.